So he's excited enough to spend the rest of his life with her that he proposed. Now, he didn't have an engagement ring. Sounds like a familiar story. I did the same thing. It was spontaneous. The difference between my story and Nicole's story here is that her fiance said, you got to pay for the engagement ring eventually. Whereas I'm going to cover it. Hey, Nicole.
Hey.
All right. How did we get to this point? How long you guys been seeing each other? Tell us about the proposal. And then what I'm sure was disappointing when he said, you got to pay for it.
Well, we've been seeing each other for like 2 years, and he recently proposed to me. I have a very well-paying job, and so, I make way more money than he does, and he proposed to me without an engagement ring. I wasn't bummed out about it because he said, eventually he's going to give me a ring. So I'm like, okay, we've been together long enough. I understand. Now that I want to go ring shopping, he's telling me that he wants me to pay for the ring.
Well, okay.
Can you do that?
And
What's the reasoning?
I don't know. Well, first of all, yeah, what is the reasoning? I guess that's the jumping off spot.
Well, because he's saying that I make way more money than he does.
He's like, I'm a feminist. I don't want to take this opportunity away from you for being a queen that knows your worth and buy your own ring.
Well, are you going to be okay with him getting a ring that he can afford, which clearly isn't very much? It might just be a band with a little teeny diamond.
For me, it's really the thought that counts. And he did propose to me. So, I was not expecting him to tell me to pay for my own ring.
That is such
so now I'm stuck.
Yeah, no, you're not stuck. That is such an odd, not even request. It's more of just a statement. You need to pay for the ring. My question is the ring that important? Do you even need a ring?
That
was me.
Okay.
Okay.
I do need a ring. I'm sorry.
Hold on one second. Hold on. Hold on one second.
Hold on. Sometimes we hear things that listeners don't hear in their car, though. Hold on one second, Nicole. So Kristen's stomach just made a really, really super loud noise.
Its stomach, it came out my mouth.
Okay.
It was like a rock.
Yeah, it started in my stomach, and I felt it literally crawl up my esophagus and just crawl out my mouth and into the mic. So I apologize. I can't even blame it on pregnancy because I used to be able to do that. I am just a gross individual.
It's true that sometimes a burp erupts out of you, and then sometimes it crawls.
Yes, it did.
And it only happens when the mics are on.
Yes, and I was all up in the mic too, and I had my mouth open to say something, so it got amplified.
Right.
I was like, did everyone else hear it? I just want to make sure.
So we don't have gremlins in the studio. Sorry. That was just me.
All right, Nicole. So back to you. So look, I think Kristen's right here. Had he come to you and said, what do you want to do about the engagement ring? Because clearly you make more than I do. I don't have a whole bunch here. How do you want to handle this? Which might be a really good indicator on how you guys are going to have to work on your communication as this thing goes forward. But the fact that you guys are already shopping, he's like, yeah, pick out whichever one you want. You're paying for it.
I would totally get that, though. If he does the proposal, the romantic, all of that stuff, and then he's like, now to the nitty gritty. What I can afford, I don't think you're going to want to show off to your hoity-toity friends at work that all make 3 times what I make. But he should have said all that. He could have said, what I can afford is this wee thing, and I feel like you're such a queen, you're going to want this big thing, and I can't do that. So what do we do?
There's got to be somebody listening that split the cost on your engagement ring. He pitches in what he can. It's not traditional, but you do what you got to do. So you gave money also. 1-855-BERT Show. Is that such a turnoff for you? I see you staring into space, not knowing what your opinion is.
That's the thing. When I do that, I'm actively putting myself in her shoes and how I would feel if he said that and was just he proposes without a ring and says we're going to go shopping together, but he's not even alluding at that fact that he's going to pop another question or actually pop another demand on you once you get to the ring store, the jewelry store, and that is, oh yeah, by the way, you have to pay for this.
Yeah, Nicole, there's more at play here.
That's bizarre.
There's more at play here, I think, than just the actual engagement ring, which is, I can see how that's off-putting. But I think as you guys enter a marriage, this certainly isn't a deal breaker. I do think that the bigger issue here is the communication moving forward than it is actually the engagement ring.
Yeah, I guess so. So I guess I won't call off the engagement.
No.
Yeah,
were you thinking about doing that?
I was. Because, you know, it's important to me. I mean, I feel like if he can't give me a ring, what else can he give me?
That's I
Well, that's a
mean,
different
and at
question, yeah.
first I was like, oh, this would be a great thing to first communication of your marriage. But Kristen brings up a good point. It is a slippery slope because I remember like a year ago we got a letter from this woman that was like, I've always wanted a kid. My husband didn't want one. Now he's like, yeah, we'll have one, but you're paying for all of it. Do you remember that guy? Where he was like, this, you are the one that ultimately wants the baby. So
Uh-huh.
you're taking care of every hospital bill. You're paying for everything on your own. She's like, is this normal? And we're all like, no.
Yeah, you got a lot of questions to ask. I mean, I think on this specific issue only, I don't think it's like a deal breaker, but it sounds like there's a lot. Like you're asking yourself, am I always going to be the breadwinner? Is he ever going to be able to contribute? And those are legit.
Man, the phone lines are lit up right now, and I'm so curious as to which way they're leaning.
I think we're having a bit of a problem with him. I'm not sure. Abby? Yeah, I think.
Oh,
There you
there
go.
she is.
Hey, who's this?
This is Abby.
Hey, Abby, what's going on? Where are you at on this?
So my husband bought the big ring with the 3 stones, and I bought the 2 side rings with like the infinity band.
So she paid for her wedding band. He bought the engagement ring.
Okay, so you guys did a little compromise action on it. And
Kind of split.
that wasn't off-putting to you.
No, because he actually traveled outside of the country to get the exact ring that I wanted. So I bought the rest by myself.
Well, this
Okay.
it doesn't sound like this guy can buy plane tickets.
No.
And they're bragging now.
They're crazy expensive these days.
That's true.
And he's smart for not using JetBlue. Just saving money. Brooke, good morning. You're on the Bert Show.
Good morning.
Hi. Did you guys go in on your ring together?
So my husband bought a ring, but it was a really, really small diamond. And I just didn't want a ring like that. So we went back and we just bought a fake one. And nobody knows the difference. Everybody thinks my ring is gorgeous. And nobody knows that it's fake.
Yeah, I think you're struggling with a couple of other things that really don't have to do with the ring here. I think communication, and I also think you got a lot of questions on if this dude is going to be able to provide and how you guys are going to handle your finances together. I think that's probably the bigger question.
But providing isn't always about finances. Like there's
Yeah.
other ways to provide in a
Yeah.
relationship that doesn't involve money.
Does he do that?
Not really.
Okay,
I mean,
then we
Okay,
got
now we
all
got a
right,
problem.
All right.
Now we got a real problem. So he's not contributing money-wise. He's not really helping out around the house. It sounds like it's all on you. Yeah, now that's the bigger red flag, I
I think we
think.
chiseled this down. We pulled off the layers of this onion. We found a man-child inside.
Yeah, okay, that says everything.
Yeah.
The Bert Show.